The air is different. You can feel it even if you can't explain it. Something unseen is rearranging everything around you. The tides that once pulled against you are beginning to move in your direction. The storm that once felt endless is clearing, revealing a sunrise you once only imagined. Everything is about to shift in your favor, not by accident, but by divine orchestration. What's been working behind the curtain of your life is now stepping onto the stage. What was delayed was not denied, it was designed. Designed to make you stronger, deeper, wiser, and fully aligned with the life you've been envisioning. Every prayer, every tear, every act of faith has been building unseen momentum. The invisible has been preparing to become visible. But here's the key. You must stay ready. Readiness is not about waiting nervously. It is about living expectantly. It is about walking as if it's already yours, speaking as if it's already done, and thanking life for what's unfolding even before it arrives. When you stay ready, you're not surprised by the blessing, you are synchronized with it. Reality bends to the state you occupy within. When you choose faith over fear, gratitude over doubt, and peace over panic, you move into alignment with the good that has been waiting for you. The shift does not begin out there, it begins in here, within the consciousness that knows it's already done. Every situation that looked like loss was secretly an adjustment. Every person who left made room for what was meant to stay. Every door that closed redirected you toward one that would open effortlessly. This is not coincidence. It is divine precision. You are stepping into a season where the timing of everything will finally make sense. So hold your inner posture. Stand firm in your unseen knowing. Your manifestation is not coming to you, it's coming through you. You are the channel through which your higher vision becomes physical. The outer shift is the echo of your inner assumption. When you hold the image and feel its reality now, the world must reorganize itself to reflect it. There will be moments when your faith feels stretched, when nothing seems to move, and when silence feels louder than guidance. But remember this, silence is not absence, it is preparation. The soil is quiet before it blooms. The dawn is still before it breaks. Right now, everything is aligning in perfect order. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you haven't entered yet. Opportunities are forming around conversations you haven't heard. Life is making room for your expansion. So, don't lower your expectation, elevate your preparation. The shift is not something you wait for, it's something you embody. Step into the vibration of what you desire. Feel it, live it, expect it. Let your imagination become the rehearsal of your destiny. Because when you live as if it's already done, the universe must obey the conviction of your inner state. Everything is about to shift in your favor, and when it does, it won't be gradual, it will be sudden. Doors will swing open, clarity will rush in, and peace will replace confusion. But it will not come as a surprise to the one who stayed ready. So stay steady, stay faithful, stay ready, because the shift you've been sensing isn't coming, it's here. The unseen is already forming the scene. Your outer world is catching up with your inner assumption. Everything you imagine, feel, and believe within yourself is shaping the reality you are stepping into. The world you experience with your senses is only a reflection, a mirror of the thoughts and assumptions you persistently hold. Nothing appears out of nowhere. Everything begins as an invisible seed in consciousness. The unseen is not distant or mysterious. It is the creative foundation of all that exists. Before the physical form arrives, it must first be conceived in the inner realm of awareness. When you change the image you hold within, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match it. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are conscious of being. Every assumption becomes a cause, and every experience becomes its effect. When you persist in a new state of being, when you assume that you already are, already have, already live the life you desire, the universe begins to respond to that inner frequency. People, circumstances, and opportunities start to move in ways that align with your inner conviction. What seems like chance is really divine coordination, following the blueprint of your belief. This is why imagination is sacred. It is not daydreaming, it is creation in motion. When you visualize something with emotion and certainty, you are instructing the unseen forces of life to mold themselves into form. The inner act becomes the outer fact. Your job is not to force outcomes or chase results. It is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled until the outer world mirrors it. That is the true work, maintaining the inner assumption even when the evidence around you seems unchanged. The visible world often lags behind the invisible one. There is a divine delay, not as punishment, but as process. The unseen is always ahead of what you can perceive. Like a seed growing beneath the soil, the evidence of your assumption is developing in silence. You may not see it yet, but life is already arranging itself according to your belief. The people you need are being positioned. The opportunities you prayed for are being constructed. The path is being cleared even while you wait. So hold your faith. Continue to dwell in the reality of your fulfilled desire. Feel it real now. Speak from it, not about it. Act as if the unseen is more real than the seen, because it is. The moment you accept the truth of your inner state, the world begins to obey it. There is nothing outside of you that has power over what you hold within. The seen is only the shadow of the unseen, and the shadow must follow the light of your assumption. Your outer world is catching up. Every event, every encounter, every change you notice is the unfolding of the invisible design you already set in motion. Stay faithful to your vision, and soon what you once imagined will stand before you as undeniable reality. Faith is the bridge between where you are and what you have imagined. It is the invisible pathway that connects the unseen world of desire with the seen world of manifestation. Faith does not need evidence to begin. It creates the evidence as it moves forward. It is the silent conviction that what you have seen in your imagination is already yours, even before it takes physical shape. Faith lives in the realm of knowing, not hoping. It does not wait for proof. It stands on inner certainty that the unseen is more real than the seen. Every great transformation begins with faith, not in circumstances, but in the unseen potential within you. Faith allows you to step forward even when nothing around you suggests progress. It allows you to speak as if it's done, while everything around you looks incomplete. It holds you steady between the conception of your vision and its realization. Where logic ends, faith begins. It is the bridge you walk when there seems to be no path at all. When you hold a vision in your heart, something higher, brighter, and beyond your current experience, faith becomes the power that keeps you aligned with that vision. It silences doubt, dismantles fear, and refuses to accept temporary appearances as final truths. Faith whispers, "It's already done," when the world shouts, "It's impossible." It is not blind, it sees beyond, it perceives what cannot yet be seen, because it knows creation begins in the unseen. The moment you imagine something with feeling, you have already conceived it in consciousness. Faith is what sustains that conception until birth. It nurtures the seed of your desire while it's still underground. Without faith, you dig up the seed too soon, looking for proof, and the growth process is interrupted. But with faith, you trust the unseen stages, the moments of silence, the seasons of waiting, the apparent stillness that hides unseen progress. Faith transforms the waiting room into sacred preparation. It teaches you that manifestation is not about forcing life, but about trusting the divine order already at work. The bridge of faith is not crossed by sight, but by assumption. Each thought aligned with your vision moves you forward across that bridge. Each act of gratitude, each moment of belief strengthens your steps until what was once only imagined becomes inevitable. Even in the face of contradiction, faith holds the picture steady. It says, "Though I do not see it yet, I know it is done." And because your world must mirror your dominant inner state, that knowing becomes law. Soon what you believed in faith must appear in form. So when doubt whispers that nothing is changing, remember the bridge you're walking on. Every step of faith carries you closer to your imagined end. The invisible is already taking shape around you. The distance between where you are and what you've imagined is not measured in time, but in trust. Faith shortens that distance until the bridge disappears, because what you believed has finally become what you live. Every delay is divine alignment, not denial. Life does not withhold what is meant for you. It prepares you to receive it in fullness. The pauses, the waiting, the moments that feel like nothing is happening, these are not signs of abandonment, but of orchestration. There is a rhythm to manifestation, a sacred timing in which everything is positioned perfectly. What seems like a delay in your timeline is precision in the divine design. When doors don't open immediately, it is not because you are unworthy or forgotten. It is because what awaits you requires alignment. Your mindset, your energy, your readiness, your surroundings, all must match the vibration of what you've asked for. A blessing received too soon can become a burden. Life, in its wisdom, never gives before you are able to sustain. The waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. You are being shaped for what you've been shown. There are unseen movements happening behind the stillness. People you haven't met are being positioned. Opportunities are being formed. Paths are being cleared. What you perceive as delay is often the rearranging of infinite details to deliver the promise in its perfect form. The universe never rushes, yet it is never late. Everything unfolds in divine sequence, even when the human mind cannot comprehend the timing. If you could see the full picture, you would understand that the pauses are acts of mercy. They protect you from what is premature and align you with what is mature. Sometimes the delay allows old versions of you to dissolve. The fearful self, the impatient self, the doubtful self. For the new to arrive, the old must pass. The delay gives you the space to evolve into the version of yourself that can hold the blessing with wisdom, not desperation. Yet the delay, every unanswered prayer is not a rejection, it is a redirection. Life is saying, not yet, something better, something truer, something aligned is forming. When you learn to rest in this awareness, peace replaces frustration. You no longer chase what is meant for you, you align with it. You stop fighting time and start flowing with divine ardor. The second is life has divinity. Divinity is the first. Life has divinity is the first. Life has divinity. Trust that nothing is being withheld. The current stillness is the breath before manifestation. Just as the dawn does not rush to rise, your manifestation unfolds with precision. The right moment carries a power the wrong moment never could. What's meant for you is being refined in unseen realms, and when the time comes, it will enter effortlessly. So instead of asking, why is it taking so long? Begin to ask, what is life aligning in me? Use the waiting to strengthen faith, deepen gratitude, and release resistance. Because when the alignment is complete, what once felt delayed will arrive suddenly, and you will see that it was never denial at all, only divine timing delivering perfection right on schedule. Your new reality is not coming, it's being revealed through your readiness. Everything you desire already exists in potential form. The moment you imagined it, it was created in the unseen. Life does not withhold, it responds. What determines how quickly your new reality becomes visible is not chance, but readiness. The inner harmony between who you are being and what you have asked for. When your inner state matches your desired state, the unseen becomes seen. Manifestation is never about waiting for something to arrive. It's about awakening to what's already here, waiting for your awareness to align with it. Readiness is not about effort or struggle. It's about alignment. It is the calm recognition that you are already one with your desire. The new reality doesn't rush toward you. You rise into it by embodying its frequency. The door was never locked. It only required the right vibration to open. The moment you feel worthy, grateful, and expectant, the reality that matches that feeling begins to unfold before your eyes. You don't need to force the shift. You need to become the version of yourself who naturally lives it. Your readiness is measured not by what you say you want, but by what you believe and expect. If deep within you there is still doubt, fear, or a sense of lack, the new reality remains veiled, not because it's absent, but because your current vibration cannot perceive it. Just as a radio must be tuned to the right frequency to receive the signal, your consciousness must align with the vibration of what you've imagined. Once tuned correctly, the new reality is not created, it is revealed. Life mirrors your readiness through the opportunities, people, and experiences it brings. When you elevate your consciousness, everything that aligns with your higher state begins to appear naturally. The outer world simply reflects the inner change. That is why transformation often feels subtle before it becomes visible. The energy shifts first, then form follows. Your new reality does not break in. It unfolds gently through the space your readiness creates. The most powerful way to prepare for what you desire is to live as though it is already here. Feel the joy now. Speak the gratitude now. Walk with the assurance that it's already done. When you act and feel from that end state, you signal to life that you are ready. Readiness is a language the universe understands perfectly. It tells creation, I am prepared to receive. So stop waiting and start becoming. The future you're longing for is not distant, it's waiting in the folds of your awareness. The moment you shift from longing to knowing, from hoping to being, from asking to receiving, the veil lifts. What you once chased begins to meet you with ease. Your new reality isn't on its way, it's right here, revealing itself through the readiness of your belief. You shift the moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Transformation is not a gradual process of outer change. It is an instant inner decision. The moment you emotionally occupy the state of your desired reality, your consciousness moves, and the outer world begins to rearrange itself to reflect that movement. Reality bends to the feeling you hold most persistently. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are no longer asking, hoping, or waiting. You are claiming. You step into the vibration of already having, already being, already living what you once desired, and that inner assumption becomes the creative law that governs your world. Everything begins with the state of consciousness. You do not receive what you want, you receive what you are aware of being. The outer world is nothing but a mirror showing you who you believe yourself to be. When you shift your awareness, when you say inwardly, I am already there, I already have it, I already am it, you set a new cause in motion. Life has no choice but to mirror that assumption back to you. Through people, events, and circumstance. This is the silent power of inner feeling. It is creation in motion. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is not fantasy. It is faith made real within. It's the deep knowing that your desire is complete, even when the senses show no evidence of it. You no longer seek or strive. You rest in certainty. That certainty becomes a magnet that draws the unseen into visibility. What you continue to feel real must eventually take shape, because consciousness is the only creative power there is. In the unquantum level, to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is to live from the end. It means your thoughts, emotions, and actions now flow from a place of completion, not lack. You don't look at the world wondering when your dream will appear. You move as though it already has. Gratitude replaces longing. Confidence replaces waiting. This shift in inner being changes everything, because life is always responding to who you are, not what you want. There is no distance between you and your fulfilled desire, only a difference in vibration. The moment you bridge that gap with feeling, you collapse the distance. You have entered a new state, and the outer world must conform. This is why imagination is sacred. When you enter the scene in your mind and feel the reality of your wish as though it were happening now, you are not pretending, you are creating. You are rehearsing the vibration of your destiny until it becomes natural, inevitable, and manifest. So close your eyes and feel it done. Let your heart live in the world you have already created within. Walk in the confidence of completion, because the very instant you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the shift occurs. And what was once unseen begins its journey toward visibility, drawn by the power of your inner conviction. Stay ready, because what you've prepared for inwardly must appear outwardly. Every vision you've held, every prayer you've whispered, every belief you've cultivated has been building a foundation in the unseen. Life responds not to chance, but to readiness. To the one who has already become in consciousness what they seek to become in form. The outer world is simply the mirror of your inner preparation. When you live in readiness, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, you invite the unseen to reveal itself as tangible experience. Readiness is not waiting with anxiety, it is standing in quiet confidence. It is the awareness that your preparation has already called forth the fulfillment of what you desire. You do not chase it because you understand it is drawn to you. by divine law. The universe does not give randomly. It gives precisely to those who are in alignment with what they've imagined. What you hold within is forming its reflection without. If you've built your inner world with faith, gratitude, and expectancy, then what's forming around you must mirror those states. Every inner rehearsal becomes an outer event. The conversations you've imagined, the emotions you've practiced, the identity you've assumed. All of these create energetic blueprints that reality must follow. You do not need to force the manifestation, you only need to stay ready for its arrival. Readiness means keeping your vibration steady even when nothing seems to move. It means refusing to slip back into doubt just because your senses haven't caught up. The unseen world always moves first, and the outer follows in divine timing. When you are truly ready, you no longer question if it will happen. You know it already has. You wake up with peace, not panic. You speak with certainty, not hesitation. You act as though the blessing is already part of your story, and in that assumption, you magnetize it into being. This is how the law of manifestation works. The energy of readiness pulls forth the corresponding form. You cannot be ready within and remain empty without. Life must echo the state you sustain. Sometimes the test of readiness is patience. The silence before manifestation is not a void. It's confirmation that everything is aligning in perfect order. The unseen is arranging people, opportunities, and circumstances around your inner preparation. When the alignment is complete, manifestation appears not as surprise but as recognition. You'll know it by the sense of, I knew this was coming. So remain in that posture of expectancy. Keep nurturing your vision. Keep feeling the reality of what you've already claimed within. The moment you stay ready, you declare to life that you believe in what you've been forming. And because belief is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, your faith becomes the force that calls your vision into form. Stay ready. Because what you've prepared for inwardly is not just coming, it is already unfolding, waiting for you to recognize it as your new reality. Everything is aligning perfectly, even if you can't yet see the full picture. The unseen has been working on your behalf, arranging people, opportunities, and divine timing to bring your vision into form. You are not waiting for life to change. Life is waiting for you to stand in readiness, in faith, and in the certainty that it's already done. The shift is not something you chase, it's something you awaken to within yourself. The moment you assume the feeling of fulfillment, the world begins to echo it back. This is your time, the season where the unseen becomes visible, where what you've held in faith begins to unfold in form. The waiting was never wasted. It was preparation. Every delay was divine alignment. Every challenge was shaping your readiness. Now, everything is turning in your favor. The atmosphere of your life is shifting to match the vibration of your belief. So, stay grounded in gratitude. Stay anchored in faith. Walk as if it's already done, because it is. The bridge has been crossed, the seed has taken root, and the harvest is near. Thank you for listening. Stay faithful, stay expectant, and above all, stay ready, because everything is about to shift in your favor. There comes a sacred moment when life whispers, "Enough waiting, now it's time." You have walked through seasons that stripped you of things you thought would never leave: people, opportunities, peace, finances. They seemed to vanish. Yet nothing was truly lost. Everything that slipped from your hands was not stolen. It was being sanctified, refined, and realigned in the unseen to return greater than before. You are not in a season of loss. You are in a season of divine restoration. God has already set in motion a reversal in your favor. The same power that raised you once will raise you again, but higher. Every ending was an invitation to a beginning beyond your understanding. The pain that broke you was not punishment, it was preparation. The silence you endured was not emptiness, it was incubation. The seeming delays were divine recalibrations, ensuring that when the restoration comes, it will fit your destiny perfectly. You see, restoration begins not outside you, but within. The moment you change your inner perception, your outer reality begins to mirror it. When you stop seeing yourself as the one who lost and start seeing yourself as the one who has been restored, life rearranges itself to confirm your belief. The unseen responds to your faith. When you declare, "Everything I lost is returning to me in divine order," heaven begins to conspire for your good. You don't have to chase restoration. You have to embody it, feel it, see it, know it. Act as though it's already done, because it is. Every tear that fell was a seed. Every disappointment was a planting ground for new manifestation. God never allows subtraction without multiplication on the way. What seemed like the end was the ground clearing for the new structure being built. The very things that were removed were creating space for the extraordinary to enter. This is your moment. This is the hour when divine timing meets divine intention. Everything that felt wasted, time, energy, love, faith, is now returning to you multiplied. You are not going backward. You are being realigned with what was always yours. Do not dwell on the past. Speak to the now. Say within yourself, "I am restored. My life is flourishing again. Everything I thought I lost has returned in greater measure." When you affirm it in consciousness, creation must respond, for what you accept inwardly becomes fact outwardly. So lift your head. The chapter of lack is over. The cycle of restoration has begun. Doors you once knocked on are now opening from the inside. The opportunities you thought were gone are circling back, renewed, refined, and ready. Love is being rekindled, peace is being reinstated, and purpose is being reignited. This is your divine appointment, not next year, not next month, now. The power that governs all creation is turning in your favor. Everything is being restored, reorganized, and resurrected for your good. Walk as though it's already done. Speak as though it's already yours, because it is. You are stepping into the season of restoration. Your time is now. And restoration is not coming, it has already begun within you. The divine work is not something you are waiting for. It is something that has already been set in motion the moment you decided to believe again. Everything you thought was lost is not gone. It has simply shifted dimensions, moving from the visible to the invisible, from the seen to the unseen, awaiting your recognition. You are not standing outside the process of restoration. You are the center of it. The moment your awareness accepts that life is still working for you, the hidden order begins to rearrange itself in your favor. There is a sacred law that governs all creation. Nothing ever truly disappears. It only changes form. The relationships that ended, the opportunities that dissolved, the doors that closed, they are not your losses, but divine exchanges. What you once held in your hands is now being multiplied in the unseen, waiting for the signal of your faith to return greater than before. Every shift, every silence, every setback was an invisible preparation for a visible comeback. The world will tell you that you need to wait for signs, for evidence, for something tangible to prove that restoration is happening. But divine truth whispers otherwise. The restoration begins the moment you feel it within. When you dare to say it is already done, life begins to echo that declaration. The invisible responds to your conviction, not your condition. As long as you continue to see yourself as broken, life will mirror brokenness. But when you begin to see yourself as whole again, when you stand in the knowing that all has been restored, the outer world must bow to that new inner reality. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on your recognition. The unseen realm is not idle. It is alive with activity, rearranging, realigning, and restoring every fragment of your story. But it responds to awareness. You must awaken to the truth that you are not the victim of your past. You are the vessel of divine recreation. The seed of restoration is already planted in your consciousness, and your faith is the sunlight that draws it into form. Do not look back at what was, look within at what is being renewed. The restoration has already begun because the energy of life never pauses, it evolves. Every tear that fell watered the soil of new beginnings. Every prayer you whispered in silence set something sacred in motion. You do not need to force the process, you only need to align with it. Speak restoration, feel restoration, believe restoration. In this very moment, the universe is responding to your inner vision. The rearrangement has started. What was once chaotic is finding divine order. What was once empty is being filled. And what was once lost is returning, clothed in new glory. Everything you lost is not gone. It is simply waiting for you to see it again through the eyes of faith. The moment you recognize it, you will realize that the restoration never left. It has always been within you, unfolding quietly, faithfully, and perfectly. Nothing was ever truly lost. It was preparing to return multiplied. Every loss you experienced, every door that closed, every person who walked away, none of it was the end. It was transition disguised as loss. The divine never subtracts without the intention to multiply. What seemed taken was only being transformed, refined, and elevated to meet you at a higher level of consciousness. The universe never takes something away to leave you empty. It removes only what can no longer serve your next chapter. Everything that left your life was making room for something greater, purer, and more aligned with who you are becoming. When you look back on the things that faded, you may see pain and endings, but in the unseen realm, something sacred was taking place. The energy of what you lost was being restructured, its essence purified, its purpose renewed. What once felt like loss was divine redirection, guiding you from what was comfortable to what is destined. Every ending carried within it a hidden promise that what was removed would return, not as it was, but as something multiplied, matured, and magnified. Divine law never takes without giving greater. The scales of the universe are always balanced, though at times invisible to human eyes. When something leaves, something else is being prepared to arrive, greater in quality, deeper in meaning, and higher in vibration. The relationships that ended taught you self-worth. The opportunities that dissolved taught you faith. The silence that lingered taught you stillness. You were not being stripped, you were being strengthened. And in that strengthening, you became ready for more, for the multiplied return of what once seemed lost. Think of it as a seed buried beneath the soil. To the eye, it appears gone, consumed by the earth. But in truth, it is growing unseen, breaking apart to release its greater potential. The process looks like loss, but is actually transformation. So too, everything in your life that seemed to disappear was only going underground, preparing to rise again in multiplied form. You may not see it yet, but the return is inevitable. What was taken from one level will reappear in another, elevated and overflowing. Do not mourn what was, rejoice for what is being prepared. The divine does not withhold, it refines. The waiting is not punishment, it is protection. What is yours cannot be lost, it can only evolve. Every detour, every heartbreak, every delay was part of that divine refinement. The things you cried over are being reborn in beauty. The things you let go of returning with blessing. So release the need to cling to what was. Trust that the return is already in motion. The universe is not empty, it is abundant. It owes you nothing because it is already fulfilling its law, that nothing leaves your life without something greater on its way. What was removed is not gone. It is being refined to return in glory, carrying more love, more purpose, and more power than before. The seeming losses were never losses at all. They were divine investments waiting to pay back, multiplied. ChatGPT said, "You are the vessel of restoration. Everything you seek to regain, rebuild, or renew begins within you. The world outside is not the source of your restoration. It is merely the reflection of your inner state of consciousness. The moment you decide to see yourself as whole again, the universe begins to arrange itself in agreement with that vision. The outer world cannot resist the command of inner conviction. Life always mirrors the truth you hold about yourself. When you see yourself as broken, circumstances will echo that belief, showing you fragments and lack. But when you begin to perceive yourself as restored, as someone who has already risen, already healed, already reclaimed, life must reorganize itself to match that vision. This is divine law. The inner image shapes the outer world. You are not waiting for things to change. You are waiting for your perception to shift. Restoration does not start when the problem ends. It starts the moment you decide to stop identifying with the wound. Within you is the creative power that molds reality. Every thought you sustain, every image you nurture, every feeling you entertain becomes the blueprint of what manifests around you. The universe does not respond to need, it responds to awareness. When you see yourself as lacking, you broadcast lack. But when you declare inwardly, I am whole, I am complete, I am restored, you send forth an energy that draws everything needed for that reality to take form. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the creator of experience. The restoration you long for will not arrive through effort alone, but through awareness. It is not about forcing things to happen, but allowing the inner truth to unfold outwardly. You must step into the knowing that the same divine intelligence that created worlds is working through you, as you, for you. The power that restores universes resides in your consciousness, awaiting your command. See yourself as restored, even if nothing yet appears to have changed. Speak as if the miracle has already occurred. Feel as though the restoration is complete, and let that feeling anchor within you. The outer world must obey that vibration. It has no choice. You are the lawgiver of your reality, and your belief is the decree that sets it in motion. Every image you hold in your imagination is a seed planted in the field of creation. The stronger your conviction, the quicker the manifestation. Do not wait for life to prove to you that you are restored. Prove it to life by the way you think, feel, and walk. Restoration is not a future event, it is a present identity. When you embody the wholeness you seek, you attract experiences that confirm it. You become the mirror that reflects divine completion. The outer world can only echo what you hold within. So see yourself whole again. Feel the joy of being renewed, the peace of being restored, and watch as life rises to meet that vision. For when the vessel believes, creation obeys. ChatGPT said, "The delay was divine alignment, not denial. Every closed door, every unanswered prayer, every silent stretch of waiting was never rejection. It was redirection. What you thought was God withholding was actually God preparing. The timing of your life has always been sacred. Even when it felt unbearable, you were never forgotten. You were being positioned. Every delay you encountered was aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in perfect order, so that when your breakthrough arrived, nothing could shake it. The stillness you mistook for absence was the stillness of divine orchestration. In moments of waiting, the human mind grows restless. You wonder if your faith failed, if your effort wasn't enough, or if heaven turned away. But divine timing is not measured by human impatience. What feels like delay is often divine protection. You may have wanted something prematurely, but God knew that premature blessings can become burdens. The delay was not punishment, it was mercy disguised as silence. It was ensuring that your foundation was strong enough to hold the weight of what's coming. Every closed door was an act of guidance. Had you walked through the wrong one, it would have led you away from your purpose. Those rejections you cried over were actually redirections toward alignment. Life knew what you could not yet see, that some opportunities would have diminished your vision, that some relationships would have distracted your spirit, that some paths would have taken you further from your divine assignment. So the doors closed, not to confine you, but to define you. They closed so that you could be refined in the waiting, so that when the right door opened, you would walk through it in strength and clarity. The quiet seasons too were sacred. When nothing seemed to move, the most important work was being done within you. Stillness is never stagnation, it is preparation. In silence, faith is tested, patience is forged, and character is deepened. What you learned in those quiet moments, how to trust unseen promises, how to find peace without evidence, how to keep believing when everything was still. Those were lessons that shaped your elevation. Without the waiting, you would not be ready to sustain the blessing. The truth is, divine alignment requires coordination far beyond your sight. The universe was moving pieces, shifting hearts, and rearranging events to bring you into harmony with your destiny. If even one moment had come earlier, it would have been incomplete. So every not yet was actually not this way. Every pause was purposeful. Every silence had a sound, the sound of something greater forming behind the scenes. Now as you look back, you will begin to see that what you call delay was divine timing unfolding in perfect rhythm. Nothing was wasted, nothing was denied. Everything was being positioned to serve your rise. The closed doors made room for better ones, and the waiting seasons made you ready for them. The alignment was happening all along, quietly, faithfully, and beautifully, for your elevation, not your abandonment. ChatGPT said, "The voice of faith must speak louder than memory. Too often we live bound by echoes of what once was. Mistakes, betrayals, losses, and disappointments replaying like a broken record in the mind. Memory has a powerful voice. It reminds you of what went wrong, who left, and how deeply you were hurt. But memory belongs to the past, and if you let it lead, it will keep you anchored in what no longer exists. Faith, on the other hand, speaks from the unseen. It declares what is becoming, not what has been. Faith doesn't consult memory. It consults divine truth. It doesn't look backward. It looks forward. To walk in restoration, you must choose which voice you will listen to. Memory says it's over. Faith says it's only beginning. Memory says you failed. Faith says you are being refined. Memory clings to old evidence, but faith creates new evidence. Every time you choose to speak words of faith, instead of replaying old pain, you shift your vibration. The energy of faith calls life into motion, while the energy of memory freezes it in the past. You cannot move into what's being reborn if you keep rehearsing what broke. There is great power in rehearsal. Whatever you repeat, you reinforce. If you continually rehearse your pain, you give it life. If you rehearse your faith, you awaken creation. When you begin to rehearse restoration, when you speak of what is unfolding instead of what is gone, you open the door for miracles. Life responds to the script you keep speaking. So rewrite it. Instead of replaying betrayal, speak renewal. Instead of reliving disappointment, speak transformation. Instead of mourning what ended, declare what's arising. The mind is a garden. Memory plants the past, faith plants the future. You choose which seed to water. Every thought, every affirmation, every inner conversation builds the atmosphere around you. When the voice of faith becomes stronger than the memory of loss, restoration becomes inevitable. Faith speaks in present tense. It says, "I am whole now," even when the evidence has not yet appeared. That declaration carries creative power. It begins to rewrite the patterns of your life from the inside out. You cannot enter a new chapter while reading the old one aloud. Silence the echoes of what broke. Let the past be a teacher, not a home. Faith will always call you higher, to believe in what your senses cannot yet verify, to see life as already redeemed, to know that nothing good truly ends. What broke was not destruction, it was transformation. What was shattered is now being reshaped. So stop giving memory your microphone. Hand it back to faith. Let faith narrate your life. Let it remind you that endings are illusions, that rebirth is constant, that every fall was preparation for flight. The more you speak from faith, the more your world will begin to resemble it. Stop replaying what broke. Start rehearsing what's being reborn. because creation responds to the voice that dares to believe again. This is your appointed hour. The moment you've prayed for, waited for, and often doubted would ever come, it's here. The delays, the detours, the long nights of uncertainty have all led you to this divine intersection where purpose meets timing. What once felt out of reach is now unfolding with ease. What seemed impossible is now inevitable. The season of divine restoration has arrived for you, and everything that once worked against you is now working in your favor. There is a rhythm in the universe that governs all things, a divine order that ensures nothing arrives too early or too late. You are now standing in that sacred alignment. The time of waiting has served its purpose. The preparation is complete. The soil of your soul has been tilled by patience, faith, and endurance. Every prayer, every tear, every act of perseverance was not in vain. It was building momentum for this moment. This is the hour where everything begins to make sense. The dots that never seemed to connect will suddenly align, revealing a picture of divine intelligence beyond human reasoning. You may not have seen the evidence while waiting, but heaven has been active behind the veil. The same unseen hand that carried you through the valley is now lifting you into visibility. The tides have shifted. The energy that once resisted you is now assisting you. The things that seemed distant are now drawing near. This is not a coincidence. It is divine timing manifesting in your favor. Every closed door that once frustrated you was secretly preserving you for this exact moment of unveiling. This appointed hour is not just about what happens to you, it's about what's happening through you. You have been refined by fire, and now you carry a strength that cannot be shaken. The lessons learned in the silence have shaped a wisdom that will guide your next chapter. The tests that nearly broke you have become the foundation of unshakable faith. You are no longer who you were when the journey began. You are who you needed to become for this season to unfold. Now watch as what you once dreamed begins to materialize. Opportunities that seemed impossible will find you. Relationships that align with your purpose will appear. Finances, favor, healing, and peace will flow where struggle once stood. The doors that stayed closed are about to open, not by your force, but by divine decree. What once seemed impossible is now the natural outcome of your alignment. So lift your head and steady your heart. This is your time, not someday, not eventually, now. The universe has issued its command. Restore, return, renew. The waiting season has expired and manifestation has begun. All that you've endured has prepared you for this unveiling. This is your appointed hour. The hour where faith meets fulfillment, where prayer meets promise, and where every impossible thing becomes inevitable. Some say the season of divine restoration has arrived for you, and nothing can stop what has already been written in your favor. ChatGPT said, everything you've walked through, every loss, delay, silence, and closed door was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you. The divine has been crafting something extraordinary behind the scenes, working through every disappointment, shaping every detour, and aligning every moment to bring you into this season of restoration. What once felt like chaos was actually divine choreography. Nothing was wasted. Every experience carried purpose, every tear carried power, and every waiting season carried preparation. Now you stand at the threshold of fulfillment. The time of waiting is over. The restoration is not coming, it has come. The things that once seemed shattered are being pieced back together in divine order, stronger and more beautiful than before. You are no longer defined by what was lost, but by what is being renewed within you. The divine plan that once seemed delayed is now unfolding in your favor with perfect precision. Walk forward with confidence. Speak faith louder than fear. See yourself not as the one who suffered, but as the one who rose. Everything that left your life is returning multiplied. Everything that felt broken is being reborn. This is your divine turning point. The moment where loss gives way to abundance, confusion gives way to clarity, and hope turns into manifestation. So lift your eyes, lift your heart, and lift your voice in gratitude. The season of divine restoration is not ahead of you. It is here, now, moving through you and around you. Your waiting was never in vain. The promise was never denied. The blessing has found its appointed time, and that time is now. Thank you for allowing these words to reach your spirit. May they remind you that you are never forgotten, never forsaken, and never outside the reach of divine grace. Everything is being restored, fully, perfectly, and beautifully. Your time has come. Thank you for listening, and may restoration overflow in every area of your life. There comes a moment in every life when the invisible begins to move, when the ground beneath you starts to hum with unseen power, when everything that seems stagnant begins to rearrange itself, quietly, perfectly, divinely. That moment, my friend, is now. A divine shift is coming, and it's coming for you. You may not see it yet, but something sacred is unfolding in the unseen. The pieces are moving, the connections are forming, the situations that once stood still are turning in your favor. Life is not random. Every event, every delay, every closed door was working together to position you for this season. You have walked through the dark, not to be punished, but to be prepared. Now, the universe, the divine intelligence behind all things, is orchestrating your elevation. You've entered a new vibration, a new consciousness. You're beginning to realize that your outer world is only a reflection of what you've already accepted within. When you stop begging for change and start assuming it, when you feel that what you desire is already yours, the shift becomes inevitable. The outer world cannot resist the conviction of an awakened soul. It must conform, it must rearrange. Circumstances, people, and events begin to align as though an unseen hand were guiding them, because one is. You've been waiting for a sign. This is it. The weariness you felt was not the end. It was a final contraction before birth. The struggle was not punishment. It was preparation. The delays were not denial. They were divine alignment. You are stepping into a realm where things move easily, where doors open without effort, where what once resisted you now recognizes you. You are no longer chasing, it's coming to you. The shift is not on its way, it's already here. Everything that belongs to you, peace, abundance, healing, love, is finding its way back. Every force that was against you is now working for you. Even what you lost will return in greater form. So stand firm in your inner knowing. Rest in the unseen. Speak only from fulfillment. Feel only from completion. Because when your inner world aligns with divine truth, the outer world cannot help but obey. The divine shift is not something to hope for, it is something to embody. And once you do, everything will begin to work for you. There is a mysterious process always at work beneath the surface of life, an invisible rearrangement that precedes every visible change. What appears to be coincidence, luck, or divine intervention is not random at all. It is the quiet movement of unseen forces aligning themselves according to your dominant state of being. Everything that you experience in the physical world first takes shape in the invisible realm of consciousness. The outer world is not the cause, it is the effect. What you hold true within yourself, what you continually feel and assume, becomes the pattern that the universe must mirror back to you. Most people live as though life is happening to them, reacting to circumstances as if they are separate from them. But life is not happening to you, it is responding to you. Every emotion, every mental image, every quiet assumption plants a seed in the unseen. Those seeds germinate in silence, out of view, until the moment they break through the surface as events, people, and opportunities. What you are feeling today will soon become the environment you stand in tomorrow. So, if you want to change your world, you must first change what you believe to be true within yourself. There is no such thing as an idle thought. Every thought carries energy, and every sustained feeling becomes a command to the unseen. The invisible realm does not judge, it simply reflects. If you constantly dwell on lack, struggle, and fear, the unseen will rearrange circumstances to match that vibration. But if you choose to dwell in the feeling of abundance, peace, and certainty, life will move mountains to deliver the outer reflection of that inner state. The universe is impartial, but profoundly obedient to your inner conviction. You may not see immediate evidence of change, and that is where most give up. They assume that nothing is happening because the outer world still looks the same. But faith understands that the unseen is more powerful than the seen. The farmer does not doubt the harvest just because the seed is buried underground. He knows the soil is at work even in silence. So it is with you. The delay is not denial. It is the time required for invisible forces to reorganize themselves in your favor. Think of your consciousness as the scriptwriter of your life. Every scene that will unfold is being written now through your inner assumptions. The people who will enter your life, the opportunities that will appear, the timing of events, all of it is being orchestrated by the frequency you hold. This rearrangement is not chaotic. It is divine intelligence responding to your belief. The moment you change your inner story, everything connected to the old story begins to dissolve, and the new arrangement begins to form. So if things seem uncertain, if the old is falling apart, do not despair. That is often the surest sign that the invisible has begun to move. The old structures must crumble to make space for the new design. Keep your attention anchored in the end you desire. Live inwardly as though it is already done. Feel the peace, the gratitude, the satisfaction of completion. By doing so, you activate the invisible shift that precedes manifestation. The unseen realm is loyal to your inner world. What you feel and assume now is not a wish, it is a prophecy. The invisible rearrangement is already underway, preparing the outer world to match the truth you hold within. So trust the process, remain faithful to your vision, and watch as the invisible becomes visible perfectly and inevitably. There is a sacred harmony that exists between your inner world and the outer world you experience. When your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs move in one direction, when they agree with the desire you hold, life itself begins to obey that inner alignment. You do not have to force or chase what you want. The universe responds not to your words but to your state of being. Inner alignment is the moment when the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the feeling heart unite in agreement that your desire is already fulfilled. It is a silent conviction, a deep knowing that what you seek is already yours. Most people unknowingly live in contradiction. They desire abundance but feel lack. They affirm love but carry the vibration of rejection. They pray for peace but dwell in fear. The result is confusion, both within and without. Life can only mirror the vibration you are radiating, and it cannot bring harmony to what is divided inside you. When your desire and your inner state disagree, you experience delay, resistance, and frustration. But when they agree, when you no longer feel separate from what you desire, the law of life moves swiftly and effortlessly to bring it into being. Inner alignment does not come from effort. It comes from acceptance. It begins when you stop hoping and start assuming. When you stop seeing your desire as distant and begin to feel it as present. That shift from wanting to being is where the magic happens. You cannot experience something externally that you have not already accepted internally. When your inner world and your desire become one, reality has no choice but to catch up. This alignment is not about pretending or forcing positive thoughts. It is about embodying the feeling of the wish, fulfilled until it becomes natural. You are not trying to convince yourself. It is the quiet recognition that what you have imagined exists now in the unseen and is moving toward visibility. When you hold that feeling consistently, the outer world rearranges to support it. The people you need begin to appear. The timing unfolds perfectly. Obstacles dissolve as if they were never real. Life starts to flow, not because you pushed, but because you aligned. Inner alignment is the art of surrendering resistance. It means releasing the need to control outcomes and trusting that divine order is already handling the details. You align by becoming still within, by seeing yourself already living in the end. You think from the fulfillment, not toward it. You feel the gratitude of completion, not the anxiety of waiting. This inner shift sends out a frequency that draws matching experiences like a magnet. The moment you stop seeking and start being, the outer world begins to obey your new vibration. If you are not seeing what you desire yet, look inward, not outward. Ask yourself, am I aligned with my desire? Or am I aligned with the absence of it? The answer will always reveal the cause of your experience. Every change must begin in consciousness. Once your inner world agrees with your vision, everything external becomes a reflection of that harmony. This is the true power of inner alignment. It removes all struggle. Life stops being something you chase and becomes something that unfolds. The outer world has no choice but to mirror the truth you hold within. When your inner state and your desire are one, manifestation becomes natural, inevitable, and effortless. Everything begins to move in your favor because life always obeys the harmony of your inner being. Life, in its most profound truth, is a mirror. Every circumstance, every relationship, every opportunity that enters your experience is a reflection of your inner conviction, what you believe, feel, and assume to be true about yourself and the world. The divine law of reflection governs this process perfectly and impartially. It does not respond to your wishes or words alone. It responds to the vibration of your inner state. You cannot escape your own consciousness, for the outer world is only showing you what you persist in believing within. Many live under the illusion that life happens to them, that events are random, that people are unfair, or that luck determines success. Yet the truth is far deeper and more empowering. Life happens through you, not to you. The world is a stage upon which your inner state performs. If you carry thoughts of fear, lack, or doubt, the mirror of life will reflect circumstances that confirm those beliefs. But if you hold faith, love, and confidence as your inner truth, then life will reflect experiences that match that higher vibration. The outer world has no power of its own. It merely projects what is already established within you. This law operates with perfect precision. It does not make exceptions, and it cannot be tricked by appearances. What you see out there is never independent of what you hold in here. The people who uplift or challenge you, the situations that delight or frustrate you, are all responses to your state of consciousness. This is why lasting change never begins in the outer world. You can change jobs, cities, or relationships, but until you change your inner assumptions, the same patterns will reappear in different forms. You cannot run from your reflection. You must transform it from within. To use this divine law consciously, begin by taking responsibility for your inner world. Instead of reacting to appearances, observe them as mirrors showing you your current state. If you are met with rejection, ask yourself, where within you have rejected yourself? If you encounter limitation, ask where within you have assumed lack. Once you see that life is only reflecting your consciousness, you hold the key to transformation. When you deliberately shift your inner state, when you choose to feel abundance instead of scarcity, peace instead of worry, wholeness instead of need, the outer reflection must change. It may not happen instantly, just as a reflection in water takes a moment to settle when disturbed, but it will always follow your inner lead. The law is unfailing. Your responsibility is not to fix the mirror, but to adjust the face you show to it. The beauty of this truth is its simplicity. You are never at the mercy of circumstances, because circumstances are your own creation. When you claim a new identity within, when you persist in the feeling of being already fulfilled, the world obediently reorganizes itself to match your conviction. The people who once resisted you will soften. Opportunities will appear from nowhere. Closed doors will open as if guided by an unseen hand. The divine law of reflection is not punishment or reward. It is perfect justice. It shows you yourself so that you may awaken. Change your inner state and everything around you will be transformed. The world is your mirror, and when you look into it with eyes of faith, love, and certainty, it reflects back a reality as beautiful and abundant as your belief. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between what you desire and what you experience. It is not a mere hope or wish. It is a deep, unshakable conviction that what you have imagined already exists in the unseen and will, in perfect time, take form in the seen. True faith does not rely on evidence. It creates evidence. It is the inner certainty that precedes the outer manifestation. When you hold this confidence within, life has no choice but to align itself with your belief. Most people wait for proof before they believe. They want to see change before they feel secure, to touch the promise before they celebrate it. But that is not faith. That is observation. Faith operates in the opposite direction. It begins by claiming the invisible as already yours, even when every sense denies it. It means walking as though it is done, speaking from completion, and feeling from fulfillment. When you embody that state, you set divine forces into motion that cannot fail. The unseen realm responds to conviction, not to doubt. When your heart knows something to be true, even when logic cannot explain it, you are standing in the power that shapes worlds. Faith is not blind. It sees more clearly than the natural eye. It looks beyond appearances and recognizes that every unseen cause is more real than the visible effect. The physical world is only the shadow of what exists in consciousness. By maintaining faith, you are aligning yourself with the higher cause, and the shadow must eventually conform. Faith demands courage, for it often asks you to believe in what no one else can see. It asks you to stand firm when circumstances seem contrary, to remain calm when everything appears uncertain. But those who live by faith understand that appearances are temporary. They are echoes of old beliefs fading away. The moment you hold a new assumption with unwavering certainty, the old reality begins to dissolve. It may tremble and resist, but it cannot survive in the presence of true conviction. You are never waiting for something to happen. You are only waiting for your faith to mature into manifestation. The seed of faith planted within you already contains the full-grown tree. Your task is not to make it grow through effort, but to water it daily with belief and gratitude. Every time you choose to believe in the unseen, you strengthen the bridge between thought and form. You allow divine timing to unfold without interference, knowing that the universe always delivers what matches your inner certainty. Faith beyond evidence is not about pretending or forcing optimism. It is about knowing. It is the calm assurance that what you have desired is already accomplished in the higher realm. This knowing brings peace in the waiting, joy in the uncertainty, and power in the unseen. It transforms delay into preparation and struggle into alignment. Life unsuccessfully being the ultimate, culminating in the uncertainty. When you walk by faith, you are no longer ruled by what your senses report. You rise above appearances and operate from the truth that all things are possible to the one who believes. You no longer ask, when will it come? For you understand that it already is. The evidence may not yet be visible, but it is forming, gathering, aligning itself with divine precision. Faith is the unseen architect building your future behind the curtain of time. And when the curtain lifts, the world will witness what your heart has always known to be true. There is a rhythm to life, a sacred order that moves with precision beyond human understanding. Every moment, every encounter, every apparent delay is part of a divine orchestration designed to bring you exactly what you need, exactly when you are ready to receive it. When you learn to surrender to divine timing, you step out of frustration and into flow. You stop pushing against the current of life and allow the unseen intelligence to guide you to your destination in perfect order. So often, impatience blinds us to the beauty of divine timing. We believe that if something hasn't appeared yet, it must be delayed or denied. But nothing is ever truly late. The universe does not operate by human clocks. It moves according to spiritual readiness. There are seasons in your life, and each one serves a sacred purpose. The waiting is not wasted time. It is a time when invisible forces are aligning people, opportunities, and circumstances to serve your highest good. You may not always see what is happening behind the scenes, but that does not mean nothing is happening. The soil does not reveal the roots that are forming, yet the roots are what make the tree strong enough to bear fruit. Likewise, what appears to be stillness in your life is often divine preparation. The answers you seek, the breakthroughs you desire, and the dreams you hold are being woven together with perfect precision. Nothing is random. Every thread is intentional. Surrendering to divine timing does not mean giving up. It means trusting. It means releasing the need to control outcomes and accepting that the universe knows when and how to deliver what is truly meant for you. The human mind is impatient because it sees only a fragment of the whole picture. The divine mind, however, sees everything. The connections, the timing, the sequence that ensures your growth and fulfillment. What you call a delay is often divine protection or preparation. When you force what is not yet ready, you disrupt the harmony of creation. You may get what you want before you're prepared to sustain it, and it slips away. But when you allow things to unfold in their appointed time, they come with grace and endurance. Divine timing ensures that nothing is missing and nothing is out of place. Even what feels like loss or detour is part of a higher design leading you towards something greater. The shift you've been praying for is not postponed. It's being perfected. Every event is aligning like stars in the night sky, forming the constellation of your destiny. The relationships you need, the opportunities that match your vibration, the clarity that strengthens your purpose, they are all finding their way to you in divine sequence. When you surrender, you stop asking when and start saying thank you. Gratitude becomes your bridge between waiting and receiving. You rest in the knowing that life is always on time. The divine clock never fails, and its timing is always precise. So breathe. Release your anxious timelines. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The shift is not delayed, it is divinely orchestrated. Life is aligning in perfect order for your good, and when the appointed time arrives, what once felt impossible will unfold effortlessly before your eyes. There comes a sacred moment in life when everything you have endured begins to make sense, when the waiting, the heartbreak, the confusion, and the uncertainty reveal themselves not as punishment, but as preparation. Every delay, every detour, every seeming setback was never working against you. It was shaping you, refining you, aligning you with what is now arriving. The coming fulfillment is not a surprise. It is the inevitable outcome of divine orchestration that has been unfolding all along. You have walked through seasons that felt endless. You prayed, you believed, and still nothing seemed to move. But even in those silent moments, life was working for you. The universe was rearranging itself, removing what could not go with you, strengthening what needed to remain. It was calibrating your heart, your character, your energy to match the magnitude of what you were destined to receive. The waiting was not wasted. It was sacred preparation for the new reality that is now emerging. The challenges you faced were not random obstacles. They were divine instruments of alignment. Each struggle refined your faith. Each disappointment cleared away illusions. Each delay taught you to trust timing over urgency. You learned to release control, to surrender the need to know how, and to rest in the unseen certainty that something greater was being formed on your behalf. Without those seasons of testing, you would not have the strength, clarity, or depth of understanding that you now carry. Now the energy has shifted. What once resisted you is opening. What once felt impossible is unfolding. You are stepping into a time when everything begins to make sense, when the puzzle pieces that never seemed to fit suddenly align. Doors are opening not because you are chasing them, but because you have become the vibration that draws them in. The outer world is responding to the new consciousness you have cultivated through perseverance and faith. And the fulfillment you have been waiting for is not coming as something foreign or unexpected. It is rising from within you. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. The old patterns have dissolved, the old fears have lost their power, and the new version of you is now aligned with divine flow. That alignment is what makes manifestation inevitable. The universe must respond to who you have become. This is the moment where preparation meets purpose. The things that once fell apart were never lost. They were being rearranged into a higher form. The relationships that ended, the opportunities that closed, the seasons that tested you, all were guiding you toward this unfolding. Nothing was wasted. Every moment served the fulfillment that is now appearing. Now you must receive with confidence. Do not look back in regret or doubt. Trust that everything happened exactly as it needed to. The divine plan was never delayed. It was being perfected. The waiting was simply the time it took for your vibration to align with your vision. The shift is no longer coming, it is here. The winds of change are moving in your favor. Life is responding to your new frequency. Everything that belongs to you, peace, love, abundance, clarity, is finding its way home. What was once heavy will now move easily. What was once uncertain will now become undeniable. The coming fulfillment is here, and everything is about to work for you in ways you could never have imagined. Everything in your life has been leading to this divine moment. The invisible has moved, the inner world has aligned, and the outer world is now reflecting that alignment. What once felt uncertain has served its purpose, to awaken your awareness of your creative power and your connection to the divine order of life. Every challenge was shaping you. Every delay was preparing you. And now you stand at the threshold of fulfillment. The shift is not a distant promise, it is here. You are no longer waiting for life to happen. Life is responding to who you have become. The unseen forces have already conspired in your favor, and the evidence will begin to appear effortlessly. This is your season of divine unfolding, where everything starts to work for you, not against you. Walk forward with peace in your heart, faith in your vision, and gratitude for the journey that brought you here. The divine plan is perfect and you are right on time. Sato, thanks. Thank you for being here, for believing, and for choosing to awaken to your divine power. May this message remind you that you are never forgotten, never behind, and never without guidance. Everything is aligning in your favor. Trust it, embrace it, and watch the miracle unfold. Thank you for listening, and may divine grace continue to guide your every step.